Are you feeling a little frugal this month? The holiday shopping season, it's well behind us. The shortest month of the year is here. It is the perfect time to tighten up our wallets. So financial professional Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial is here to share ways to tackle what he calls frugal February. All right, so we're going to be answering your questions about all things money, inflation, and all of that economy related for the next 15 minutes. So you can text us 336-379-5775 with your money-related questions. All right, Scott, why is February frugal February? Why is it a good time to challenge ourselves to improve our finances?
Well, the whole idea behind frugal February is it's the shortest month of the year. So if we're going to tackle our finances, why not start in February? It's a really good time also because there's a lot of things going on with our money. A lot of those New Year's resolutions have possibly fallen by the wayside. And of course, those holiday expenditures, those credit card statements are starting to come in too. So we're seeing exactly how much we did in fact spend. And of course, we need a good idea, a good game plan to tackle those credit card debts.
Right. And it's not just, I hope I get a whole bunch of money back on my taxes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, probably not best to leave it to that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what should we be focusing on during frugal February? How do we get started?
Okay, so the best place to get started is going to be by creating a written budget. It has to be in writing. If it's not in writing, it doesn't work. And with that, what we want to do is take a look at our bank statements, take a look at those credit card statements, and try to find spending habits. What I have found is that when folks do have a written budget in place, ultimately what they can notice is where they're spending money on unnecessary items. You cut those items out, and you're always going to have an opportunity to keep more of your hard-earned money that way.
Yeah, and also I guess if you look at those bank statements, especially from like the last year or so, you can see, oh, every March this is going to happen, every April this is going to happen, every May this is going to happen, so you can kind of get your budget in line so you're not surprised again this year.
Absolutely. Another good reason to have that budget and plan is to take a look at those credit cards, look at the interest rates, what they are, be familiar with that. Also, of course, we want to know when those payments are due. Try to pay more than a minimum payment. But the more you follow the numbers, the more you track that information, just the better you're going to be because you're sort of in tune, not only with how you're spending money, but also how you're also watching your money come in. Ultimately, we want to make sure that we don't have more money going out than what is coming in.
Okay, so make the budget just so you just know where the money is and then see where you can cut on the spending. And that could be something that maybe you're not even using that often.
Well, that's a good idea. And again, if you're watching how you're spending money, you're going to see things that are going to pop up, and you're going to say to yourself, this is something that if I want to tackle my finances, if I want to become more financially powerful, then I can cut back on these items. But you're not going to notice that unless it's in writing and you're really tracking it.
And you said on there, try a no spend week.
Oh, that's a great idea. If you can not only go just a week without spending on anything. So that might mean you need to stock up on some things at the grocery store to get you through the week. Fill your tank up with gas. Really prepare yourself for that week. But I do that myself, and it really is impactful long term because what you'll realize is you can actually go more than just a week. It's a discipline like anything else. But that's an excellent idea.
All right, so you pay your bills, like the bills that are due, that kind of thing, your water bill and all that other kind of stuff, but you just don't spend anything else. You just don't drop by the store for that Coke. You don't just drop by the store for that extra ice cream that Thursday night or whatever.
Well, Tanya, I would even challenge that, when your bills are due, so pick a week where those bills aren't due or pay them the week before. Really commit to that no spending idea. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be an unexpected emergency expenditure that's going to pop up, but really try to be diligent, though, as much as you can.
All right, so let's talk about what should we be doing with our savings?
I'll tell you, a lot of folks have realized through COVID, those that did have what we call an emergency fund in place, just how valuable those are. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to have 6 to 12 months of money saved in a separate account. This is for emergencies, it's for the unknown, and this should cover your expenses for 6 to 12 months. I've seen a lot of folks really want to step that up. 6 months just isn't enough. You really just have to take a look at that and see ultimately if that gives you a good feeling that when that emergency arises, that you have enough in that account to cover those expenses, and it's just going to allow you to be, healthier, less stressed out, make better other decisions that are going to be happening at that same time.
All right, I think we need to make this point. It's not like you can just like put a big chunk of money into savings and that is your emergency fund. You do have to build it up, right? And sometimes that can seem a little overwhelming, but you got to start somewhere, even if it's just $10.
That's really the way to look at it. Even if it's just $10, you're less likely to notice $10. And so just having that money put away is a great way to go about it. When the checks come in, the income checks come in, just go ahead and have it set up. A lot of folks have those checks automatically deposited. You can have your bank set up an account to where $10 automatically is transferred. There's ways to do that so you don't even see it. Which I really like that idea even better.
Yeah, just have that direct deposit right out from savings. So yeah, you don't even miss it. All right, so what advice do you have to stay motivated during not just February, but for the rest of this year as we try to kind of like really hone in on our spending and know really where our money is going?
So as a financial advisor, this is a big one for me. Really what is going to help you navigate through the rest of this year and the years to come leading up to your retirement is having a written game plan in place. What this is going to do is it's going to keep you focused on your long-term goals that are going to help you achieve the desired retirement that you want. But more importantly is what it's not going to do. What it's going to allow you not to do is get tied up in these short financial cycles. Even inflation, that's not something that's going to stick around forever. That is considered a short financial cycle. Election years are another example of short financial cycles. And what happens here is the wrong emotions, negative emotions, start to dictate what we do financially. Oftentimes, this is when investors get burned the most because they make the wrong decision. We know the rules of the stock market. The 101s here is we want to sell high and buy low. And sometimes the worst thing that we do is we let those fears dictate when the market goes south to go ahead and get out. And that could be the worst thing that you do. So again, a written game plan that keeps you focused on the long term will help keep you in better health, help you sleep at night, not getting too twisted and tied up in those short financial cycles.